Hey guys, Mark Ferrasci, Protect Dog Training with Legend. And I've been doing my series with Legend, and we've seen me layering in the toys. Legend's a very high drive dog to the point where, and also more importantly, the dog's never learned to, from an early age, to be aware of its drive states because nobody's gotten into that. They've taught him behaviors of heel, sit down, stay, and a lot of luring of food, but they haven't taught this dog to go from 1001 to 0. Some of the things that I do going to a 0 state of mind. And the dog is just temperament-wise out to lunch in a lot of regards of this, but it's because of the dog not being built the way I would build the house. I always talk about how I build my dogs. It's not heel, sit down, stay. It's more about how you're building the dog overall to complete overall product, which is a companion dog. A dog I can take any place with me and friendly and fine, but I also do protection. So I want protection dog. It's the same criteria. It can not just a companion dog place. Good. So what I'm doing now is the last couple of days been pretty frustrating for me because Legend's come out here and now he's anticipatory want. You would hear me talking about that downstay all the time. Anticipatory want is built up. So when he comes out, he expects to go after the balls, to go after the toys. And his drive state just goes through the roof. And now I have to sit there and use aversives and compulsion to try to get him to do anything that's getting in the way. So I could sit there and keep trying to drive through with this, but I know better. So what I'm going to do now is try to put it back into balance, right? I'm going to go back to food and what this dog's already been conditioned to do. Sit, good. Down. Good. And then get the dog's head into a place where it's more comfortable and working in a better fashion because now I have the dog's head in a training state of mind, right? The dog is not conducive to that higher drive states with toys because it's got to drive one and the brain goes out to lunch, down. But more importantly, the dog has never been imprinted that way from a young age and been built to go from high to low and understand how to channel its drives. You hear about channeling drives all the time for protection, but it's no different in this. If you're aware of drive state and you're aware of what where the dog's head's at in the work, you're going to be aware of it and you're going to be channeling that. And you're going to be working the dog through all this and teaching it to understand drive state to the point where now I can take it to a 0 state of mind and go right to calm and the dog will fall right into that drive state, right? The more I do it, the more I practice it, you can look at it as channeling drives you want to, and channeling drives you'll usually hear in the context of protection, but it's the same as far as I'm concerned. The dog has to understand how to take environment. I came out and we went around, there's some kids over here that are playing soccer, and the dog wants to go crazy on the soccer ball. So one of the first things I did this morning is we came out with the attitude that I'm going to go to food, and that's our session today. I'm going to work hardly any of anything else other than food. And another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start layering in the stim collar. Stim collar will work very well for this dog, but we've got to drive through. We've got to keep working that dog towards an overall goal to get it to that point where all this training is worthwhile. Otherwise, when you go through a training program like this, I take the dog in for a month, get the dog going on a pattern, it goes back home, and that pattern goes to hell in a handbasket, and now all that work is gone, pissed down the toilet, right? So I always tell my customers when I work with them, it's real important that they get off the couch and they learn to work the animal. Otherwise, they're pissing your money away. Well, this is the same thing. You put all this work into the dog, and if the owner doesn't get off the couch and try to follow through and really put the work in, they piss their money away. So it's important. But I'm going to start phasing in the collar. He's supposed to go home next weekend, I do believe. So I want to put in enough that I've got enough of a baseboard that I can work with the trainer that has hired me, contracted me to work with the animal. In so doing, then they can convey this to the owner because they're working with the owner, not me. So, good boy, good. Good. All right, so let me get the dog flowing, then I'm going to try to see if I can get a little bit of stim collar in with him. And all I'm going to be doing is starting to teach him to turn it off. So he's got it on now. He's never had stim collar on, and we've got such a distracting environment that it's not going to be hard for me to do. And I'll start with the return, right? Dog's on a long line on a release, but I need to make sure I have a good release so the dog understands it and gets its head into a place where it's really distracted by the environment. And then calling the dog back to me will be its first experience to feeling that low stim, right? We're going to put it on a stim that it understands. We've got to figure out what that working level is first. But right now I've got the dog's head in a good spot as far as food, right? But look at the drive level, still high. Yes, easy. Good, easy. Easy. Good. Easy. Good. And it's hard with this dog because his temperament and his drive states are so high and through the roof, and he's never been able to control that. He goes to a high very easily, and he doesn't know how to take it back down to a low, right? He doesn't understand how to go from high to low. So we've got to do a lot of that work. Place. Good. Good. Place. Good. Let me see what we got for the camera set. There we go. Change our camera set a little bit. I don't know how our light's going to come out on this. Good boy, Legend. Good. There you go. Good boy, Legend. And I can see that another thing the trainer has not. Well, here you go. Good. Yes. Good. Quarter turns. Legend doesn't know how to do it from out without being at my side, so it's all right. Place. Good. Place. Good. Good. Heel. Yes. We have all this in the bank, though. We can go back to this anytime we want to. That's why I'm always talking about tools in the tool bag. So we can take it back to food and try to keep the state of mind at a lower state and not work with food for a little bit, with a toy, and get the dog's head on a different place. The trick is to try to get the dog to go from a high to a low at a moment's notice. Within your cues that you do, when I say easy, that's my word for zero, right? So I go 1001, I go, I get squirrely, and I go, nope, and I go right down to easy. Take it to zero, right? Voice tone is cueing it. Body language and energy from me is cueing it. And that's what this dog never got when it was younger, is it never got anything that was into drive state and teaching it what drive state's all about. All it was heel, sit down, stand behaviors. That's why I tell you, behaviors is not everything. Up, down, good. So what I want to do now is I want to go ahead and see if I can dial in my stim collar. We're looking for what's called the working level of the animal, which means the lowest level that this dog can feel. And usually I find that to be around a 4 and then higher. But every dog's different, so we're going to go down to a 2 to start, because I don't think it's going to feel a 2. Up, we'll find out. Down, come here. What I need to do now, down, is get the dog in a low state of mind so that it can feel this without being distracted. And then, that was a 2. And I saw the dog jump, which means it can feel it on a 2. And that's rare. But you also, there it is, right there again. You have to also understand the dog has never felt this sensation. So to it, it's new. And as time goes along, that newness will wear off and that won't be as effective. But right now, 2 is where it's at. Wait a minute, I'm at a 4. Go back to a 2 and make sure I'm at a 2. It floated up to a 4. We don't want that. Down. Good. It can feel it. It's amazing to see it, and it's mainly because the dog's never felt this before. It has no idea what this sensation is. Yep, sure enough, a little bit of a look down, that sort of thing. So I'm going to start my level at 3, but now we're going to go out in environment. I'm going to have the dog out here doing its own thing, and then I'm going to say the dog's name and look for it to turn back around to me when it feels this sensation, and pair it with the collar sensation, a little tingling on a low level, right? And as soon as it turns to me, I'm going to let go of it. So we're looking for that recognition. But what people don't understand is that environment will overshadow this. And I've talked about this before. If you're sitting on the couch, Joey is sitting on the couch in the house. I have a little lecture I've given this before. I'll give it again since we're talking about stim collar. Joey's watching TV, and you want Joey to go out into the, take the trash out. And say, Joey, I need you to take the trash out. Joey's so in tune with what he's doing, he doesn't hear you. And so you say it again. You say, Joey, I need you to take the trash out. And the child still doesn't hear you. Down. Because he's overshadowed by what's going on. His distraction is so into what he's into. Maybe he's playing a game, or he's just watching TV, or whatever it is. Cartoons, you know how that gets to the kids. So you say it about the 3rd time, Joey, I need you to take the trash out. Joey still doesn't hear you. You finally get frustrated. You walk up behind Joey and you smack him on the back of the head. You, Joey. Joey looks at you and goes, what's going on? Well, that's what we're talking about. That distraction of environment overshadows the dog's ability to be able to feel the stim. Even when you started it at this, there's no distraction level at all. It's on a low level, and at a 2 or 3, he's feeling it. Well, I know when I take him out here, he's going to not feel it. So I'm going to probably go to a 3 or 4. We do not keep the level at the same constant every day. Every day is going to be a little different depending on where the dog's head's at, right? So we may have to fluctuate it. We're going to find out what the working level is every time. Down. And I'm going to say it's going to be about a 3 or 4. So what I'm going to do first is I'm just going to let the dog do its own thing. I'm going to say the dog's name, call the dog back into me. So we're going to do that now. Keep in mind that we got no toys, TOIs, in here at all. We've got the dog into a different state of mind by bringing food out. He's in an excited environment because I've been doing a lot of work out here, and this dog's already kind of pumped by being here. But we have a different situation we're trying to reach for, because we're going to start layering in the collar. First things to find out the working level. And I already did that. You guys may not even have noticed it, but I can read the dog down and tell you where the dog's head's at in regards. That's on a 3. I'm going to take it up to a 4. And now there it is. So I'm at a 4, which is normally about the working level for most dogs that first started. I'm going to consider that our level. And now I'm going to take the dog out and let's go out here, and we're going to see how the dog does. Hopefully you'll be able to see some of this. Legend, yep, you go free, hon. Let me go check my camera set. Good boy. And I might pull back on it a little bit so you can see. I'm going to use the tree and the bench over there for my area. Let's go ahead and go to here. That's too much. Let's pull back again. I think that's about right. It gives you the tree, and that's where I'm going to be out there, but the mic should be good enough for you. That's what we care about. You'll be able to hear what I'm doing. Yep, come on. Good boy. All right, you go free, hon. You go free, hon. There's a nice tree for him to piss on and smell. That's what we're up to. You go free, hon. You go free, hon. Come on, go free, hon. Good boy. You go free, hon. Go potty. Go on. We got a little bit of Velcro going on. It came back towards me. Even if he doesn't show me any recognition, it doesn't matter. I've already tested it over here, so I know it's at about a 4. I know the dog can feel it. And with time and consistency and pattern, the dog will pick up on this, okay? So we're at a 4. Yep, you go freehand. Real important that you have a dog have a good release. He has to understand what freehand is. Good boy, you go freehand. Because if he doesn't understand that freehand means to go relax and go take a piss, go sniff on the ground, you're not in a place where the dog's going to be conducive to learning anything, right? We've got to get the dog away from me. He's a little bit too Velcro right now. You go freehand. You go freehand. Good boy, good. And get him to be into his own stuff. That's why it's really important to have a good release word. Legend. Good boy, good. That's at a 4. That's perfect level for him. He's feeling it, and then he's coming right back. I'm letting go of the button right when he turns around. He doesn't have to come all the way back to me. He just has to show me that he's feeling it by turning around. And then we'll build on that pattern of feeling it and then turning it off. He is the one in power of control of turning it off by responding to me calling his name. He's responding to it. I don't need him to come to a heel. I don't need him to be specific obedience. I'm just trying to show him how to turn off the collar right now. Good boy, you go freehand. You go freehand. Good boy, good. There you go. You go freehand. You go freehand. Legend. Good boy. And then I let it go right when he responded back to me. And he's being real responsive. In a general sense, I could probably get the same reactions out of him without a collar right now, but it doesn't matter. I'm trying to show him that the collar goes off when I say it's on. When I say his name, I'm hitting the button. Right when he turns around and responds to me, I'm letting the button go. All we're trying to do is show the dog how to turn this collar off and get him in tune with the collar. We'll be doing this with 3 different methods, with 3 different, what we call a 3-way turnoff. That's one turnoff. They're coming back to me. It's the first one that I use. The next turnoff I use is a table. And he goes to that table all the time. Watch this. Legend, up, down. Legend, down. I haven't hit the button. I'm not working with the collar right now, but I was trying to show you how receptive he is to that because this is part of his training. He's so in tune with his table, it's not even funny. Yep, good boy, good. Legend, up, nope, up. I'm not hitting the button. I'm not worried about it right now, guys. I'm trying to show you guys something. Down. Where's the dog's head at in receptivity to this tool? I've got to make sure he really understands this, and I do so much of it that I've got a behavior loop that goes right to this on a hup. Then it would be fair to hit the button and let it go right when he touches it. Right when he touches it, it goes away. And we're not punishing the dog with it. We just have a very small, he's only on a 4. He just barely feels a tingle that he doesn't understand. He's never had this collar on him, right? Legend, hup. And I'm not doing it right now, guys. I'm just trying to show you how receptive he is to this conditioning, this behavior loop that I've already got set in. right? The one on out there, I did do it with it out there. That's going to be the first one. We're going to do that one in a couple days. Then I'll start mixing in this, and we'll do both. Then I'll mix in the last one. The last turnoff, three-way turnoff. The last turnoff is me sending him to his kennel. He goes to his kennel all the time. He knows exactly what it means. He knows he's supposed to get in it when I say it. I will do it enough that I really make sure that he knows that before I start the last turnoff. The last turnoff will be him going to his kennel from 4 or 5 feet away from me. He'll go to it, and as soon as he touches it, the button goes away, right? The stimulation is turned on and off. On would be me pressing the button. Off would be me letting go of the button. Right when I say his name, I press the button. Right when he completes the task, I let go of it. For the most part, actually, the only task I require out here is for him to be turning around. I don't expect him to come all the way back. I don't keep that pressure because remember, this is something he's just now understanding. We've got to teach him the understanding of the collar first and how to turn this off. Then we can grow our lexicon, our fluency within the collar and what this tool means as far as the communication. And that's what a stim collar is to me, guys. Remember what I always say, stim collar is only as good as the person using it. The tool in general, any tool, is only as good as the person using it. So in this case, we're talking about stim collar. Up, down, good. So that being the case, it's only as good as my full understanding of the collar and getting full use out of it in a very productive and receptive way. If we condition it properly, we've turned it into a three-dimensional tool. We have a huge myriad of things we can do with this. If we only use it as a one-dimensional punishment tool, you're blowing purple Twinkies, you're being abusive to the dog, and you're ruining the full potential of this tool. That's the key. Turn it into a three-dimensional tool that means a myriad of different quadrants, different things to the dog that's all going to be related to our communication with the tool. It's nothing more than an extension of a leash when it really gets down to it, right? Too many people think that this is just a hot and cold and a bigger stick and they use it as correction, and that's so wrong. It's not even funny. So it's all about the person using the tool and your concepts and understanding of the tool overall. All right, Mark Ferrasci, ProTech Dog Training, signing off. I'll talk to you later.